Right, hello everybody, welcome to the Adam Clery football channel. Guess who that makes me? And we're going to try something a little different today. Now, you know me, I normally like to focus on either one club or one player or one match so that the audience, and yes, also the algorithm, can easily tell who might like to watch it. But not today, because you see, every single season in the Premier League, there is a new, never seen before tactical innovation. One team quite cleverly comes up with it. Pretty much everybody has a go at copying it, but that's hard because you've either got the players who can do it or you haven't, and there's no point shopping for them because by the time you get to a transfer window, everyone sort of moved on. 2 seasons ago, it was inverted fullbacks and box midfields. Arsenal and Manchester City in particular started moving defenders into the centre of midfield at the base here, shuffling everyone across and giving themselves 4 players in the middle, so they finally outnumbered everybody else's 4-3-3. More or less every other team in the league had a go at pushing a defender into the middle. Most were not very good at it, and it's only really Chelsea who still do it now regularly, although obviously Arsenal still will stick Timber or Lewis Skelly in there if the situation requires it. And last season, it was super athlete wingbacks, wasn't it? Basically one player who would play the entire length of the pitch on their own and allow you to effectively have a 5th man in attack when you were attacking, but also run so fast and so relentlessly that when you did have to defend, he didn't leave you short in the back 4 either. Kirkes at Bournemouth, Robinson at Fulham, Munoz at Palace. Conor Bradley was so good at it for Liverpool, he convinced them to spend the money on Jeremy Frimpong, and even Guardiola liked it enough that he gave Matheus Nunes away back into the City team. And this season, I would forgive you for thinking that the big tactical innovation was long throws. 4 seasons ago, there were 1.27 long throws per game, and now there are 3.44. Which is insane, isn't it? Like, it's nearly trebled in 4 years and more than doubled since last season. So clearly, undeniably, this is something that Premier League teams are suddenly deciding to do en masse because they feel like it will yield results. And the fact we've had 4 goals from them already this season says, yeah, that is definitely working. We're getting a goal from a long throw every 12.5 games right now. And that's compared to 1 every 27 games last season and 1 every 76 games the season before that. And just to do some incredibly basic maths, that means they are now 5 times more effective than they ever used to be. Yeah, but the thing is, my friends, I don't think that long throws really are the big tactical innovation of the season. Just done one there. For some reason, right? I don't think they are, because I don't think they're actually that innovative. Like, I play Sunday League, citation, and let me tell you, every single team will just hoy it into the box if they have a player who's got the arm for it. Nobody's asking their shit-kicking central defender to push alongside the pivot to give them a numerical advantage, and nobody is asking Gary here, who's got 3 kids and 1 knee, to do that up and down for 90 minutes. But long throws, they have never really gone away, right? And trust me, as a goalkeeper that no one will ever describe as tall, I see plenty of them. However, there is something new happening this season across multiple different sides that we've never really seen before and that is making a tangible impact on the Premier League. And I would like to both show and explain it to you right now. Defensive midfielders, CDMs, number 6s, pivots, whatever term you like to use to describe them, being given the very specific job of making late runs beyond their midfield colleagues, beyond a number of the forwards, to arrive late in the box, untracked, to offer a goal threat. Ryan Gravenberch, Moises Caicedo, João Paulinho, Martin Zubamendi, Casemiro, Idrissa Gueye, Ladislav Krejci, and presumably a few others that I just simply haven't had the energy to go through and pick out, have all scored open play goals already this season. And while there is certainly a variety to them, they do tend to fall into 2 categories. First, the sort of obvious one of all the players to worry about when you're defending deep, the number 6 seems to be the very bottom of the list of priorities. Moises Caicedo here against Brentford is given all the time in the world on the edge of the box to take a touch, line it up, and get his shot away. You wind it back a bit, Kevin Schade is like sort of with him during the move, but when it breaks, he just does not react to that at all because, well, why would he? The guy's an attacker. His defensive responsibilities are usually the last thing on his mind. Sitting on another player is something he's very rarely tasked with, so Caicedo, out of all the Chelsea players here, will naturally be the free one. Next up, we've got João Paulinho against Wolves, and they're defending deep. They've got plenty of men behind the ball, and yet Paulinho is able to just drift off the back of Andre here, and as the cross comes in, look how much room he's got on the edge of the box. Nobody is alive to the idea that he might be dangerous there, and when it drops, given every single Wolves player on the whole pitch, in the world, right, is contained within this box here, look at somehow the space he still finds himself with. They are, to use some young person vernacular, sleeping on him there, because why wouldn't you be? There's forwards, there's attackers, there's other midfielders, there's wingers. If the centre-backs got involved, then you know what, we'd be worried about the aerial threat. He's so far down the list of priorities. And yes, right, I hear you, right, defensive midfielders get a bit of space on the edge of the box and they'll have a shot when they do. I understand, that's not exactly groundbreaking stuff. You can put the knife down, okay? It's the other kind of goal they seem to be getting, which is really interesting. This is Ryan Gravenberch in the Merseyside derby. He has the ball way back in the build-up. That's where he lives. He knocks it forward, which is his job, and he gets moving. He goes past Garner, he goes past Gay, but obviously picking Gravenberch up isn't either of their jobs, so they just let him go. And he gets into an area where the centre-back should be alive to him, but if you stop it just before the cross, Keane has tracked Bradley, smart, and Tarkowski is marking Ekitike, which is also smart. But now, because he's doing that and these two have their own players to worry about, there is nobody to mark this man. There is nobody to track this run. So he just keeps going, the cross is really good, the finish is even better, and that's a goal. Now that's fun, that goal, right? But you remember this guy, Idrissa Gana Gueye, guess what he did in the same match? He's Everton's deepest midfielder, he sprays a pass out wide, he keeps his run going, and Liverpool, they've got loads of players who could pick him up, including Ryan Gravenberch, but none of those bodies would view him as their man. So he goes into the box entirely unmarked, and again, when it breaks, look at the space he's got to get his shot away. Even Craigie for Wolves, which I have absolutely no idea if I'm pronouncing correctly. I've literally only ever seen it written down. That's about right, isn't it? Him. He scores a near identical goal to Ryan Gravenberch. He makes his run from really deep. He isn't tracked by anyone. Longstaff at least realises the danger, but the lead centre-backs are busy with their proper jobs. He can't recover. It's clipped into him and he scores. Do you see what is going on here? Nobody bothers to track a number 6. Nobody bothers to mark a number 6. And teams are starting to use this to their advantage. Tonali for Newcastle against Forest. He doesn't score here, but this is the second phase after a corner. He finds himself out wide and not one player in red is so much as even looking at him. They could not care what he is doing. Morgan Gibbs-White, who was trying to press him in open play, is here, and from this ball, he runs untracked all the way into the box. And if you just keep your eyes on Savannah here, he actually turns his back to him in flight because he thinks, oh, this must be for Sven Botman. He does not realise Tonali is even there right up until he gets the ball. Because again, why would he? In open play, he's looking out for Voltemada. At set pieces, he's probably looking after one of the centre-backs. The man who is supposed to be sitting on Newcastle's deepest midfielder is also Forest's most attacking midfielder, the least likely one to take responsibility. And it's only an unreal save from Matt Sells that stops this being the very best example in the entire video. And I mean, even Caicedo against Liverpool the other week, he slips behind Szoboszlai and not one Liverpool player seems to know whose job it is to jump onto him. We obviously covered this extensively in the video we did on this game, but Gravenberch has got his hands down the back of Enzo Short, so he's out of the picture. Male Gusto attracts McAllister to him, so he's out of the picture as well. And neither of the centre-backs want to jump out to him because, again, how can it possibly be the responsibility of a centre-back to aggressively push on to a number 6 when they have the ball? It does not compute. The pieces don't fit. The man whose job it is here. He's absolutely miles away, so he's got all the time in the world he wants to shoot. And again, okay, this might not seem that groundbreaking to you. Runs from deep are hard to track. Midfielders shoot from the edge of the box. The question is is this actually making a tangible difference to the makeup and the results in the Premier League? Well, I have brought with me as a gift to you some numbers, and they are, although we're just going to pop tiny little asterisks up here for the next minute or so, right? But they are very interesting. So last season, goal scorers in the Premier League, there were 271 of them. And you would have to go all the way down the goal scorer rankings to 57th before you found someone who isn't a forward. And even then, it's Enzo Fernandez's Chelsea, who very often played as a 10. To find a defensive midfielder, you've got Tonali in 78th, who played like half the season as a number 8. Declan Rice right behind him, who did exactly the same. So I'd honestly say you've got to go down to Carlos Baliba in 119th place with 3 goals before you find any defensive midfielders. Pivots, number 6s, again, whatever you want to call them, they are not making any impact in the goal scoring charts. Because obviously, why would they? But should we have a little look at what's going on this season? Yes, obviously, we should. You got Caicedo in joint 5th, Zubamendi in 19th, Paulinho in 27th, Gravenberch in 29th, Casemiro 53rd, Craigie 58th, Gay 70th. You've gone from not one single solitary defensive midfielder in the top 100 Premier League goal scorers last season to 7 of them. And do you know how many centre-backs are in that top 100, living as we are in this age of set pieces meaning absolutely everything, and we've all got to go head the ball, that's how we score goals now? 6. Only 6. Which means right now, unmarked CDMs are a bigger goal threat in the Premier League than your 2 biggest lads going up for every single corner kick and long throw. And yes, of course, the asterisks, did I put it on that side? I can't remember what side I put it on. It's a very small sample size. We've played 7 games of the season. That is not enough to scientifically say something major has changed, but I think it's a big enough sample size we can say that something big is changing. And it is, yes, maybe a little bit tenuous, but I do think it's interesting that the 2 most prominent number 6s in the Premier League, that is Caicedo and Gravenberch, whatever you want to say about anybody else, the fact they've both already gone and broken all their own personal goal scoring records from the time at the club and last season and everything, I don't think that is a coincidence. So hopefully you, my dear pal, you found that interesting. And hey, maybe the next time you're watching a game that includes a proper defensive number 6, you'll see these untracked runs or these unmarked space on the edge of the box. You can point that out to whoever you're watching it with. You'll look really clever. They might kiss you on the mouth.
Now kiss me!
But yes, the big tactical innovation this season that nobody appears to be talking about is the number 6 and their goal-scoring responsibilities, because apparently just nobody ever wants to mark them. Let me know what you made of all this, and I'm genuinely serious there, because possibly I'm just going mad, so it'd be nice to know if anybody else thinks they've spotted this in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to ACFC if you have not already. You can catch me across all the social medias at Adam Clery, Clery. If you thought this was a bad concept, if you were like, I can't believe I've just sat here for 15 minutes and watched them talk about this, well, then if you've got any better ideas, members are allowed to suggest them. And we take those ideas, and we've done like 3 of them already, and they've all been really good. So if you'd like to join the channel and have a say creatively and directorially, that's how you do it. The link's down below. It's loads of fun. I love doing it. Until next time, though, that's it. I've said everything. That's what they're doing. That's what that is that you may be seeing, or not, is the case. Maybe. But it's been a long one for me, this. I'm going to go lie down. Yes, that'll be nice. Goodbye.